Welcome back to IEM Sydney 2018, and we're halfway, or potentially halfway in our series between Legacy as well as Order. Legacy so far did lose train against Order 9-16, so now Order going on to their own map pick, or onto Legacy's map pick, should I say. They do prefer Mirage though, if I do say so myself, in a comfortable position to close out the series. Yeah,
definitely up there in terms of some of their best maps, so they'll definitely not be feeling too uncomfortable on this one. No tricky veto stuff, just going straight into the comfort picks, as we did see Dust2 and Nuke going out pretty quickly in this one. No one's willing to play that one.
Not just yet. So
hearing a lot of people going, oh, we need some Dust2 for the underdogs to try and get a map upset. I mean, that's what we're used to seeing.
Yeah, but some of the teams not offered the opportunity. We saw in this veto process, Order was just like, yeah, but no, you're not getting Dust2. We're just instantly banning that first up. We're confident on every single other map. It doesn't matter what you pick. In Legacy, they picked Mirage, so that's going to be something that's comfortable for both sides. But ultimately, at the end of the day, there is a reason why Order is Goliath and why Legacy are David. Yeah,
and we're seeing most of the Goliaths in this series take out Dust2 pretty quickly. They don't want to see any gimmicky stuff. They don't want to get upset by an underdog on that map, not only because of just the nature of the map, but also because of the fact that it's just one of the first tournaments that we're seeing it here. So maybe we'll have to see two teams more evenly matched further on in the tournament, sort of pick it as a specialty map, and then things might get a little bit more exciting.
Yeah, so if you have just tuned in, this is the elimination bracket match between Legacy and Order. Whoever does lose this series means that out of IEM Sydney, there are no chances for them to make their way to Qudos Bank Arena. I mean, everyone down the lower bracket, they're on this final lifeline. I mean, early today, we did see just one upset in particular. It was SK Gaming losing against Tyloo. I mean, I say upset for a little bit, but now maybe it's a chance for Legacy also to complete an upset as well. Definitely doable.
I mean, it all starts with this map, and unfortunately for all the teams in this lower bracket, we did see Tyloo upset SK, like you did say, and that's pretty much means death for most of the people in the lower bracket. You got to take out SK if you want to make it through, and it's no small feat in itself, although Tyloo did complete that one, but I don't think that's the same amount of pressure as you do have in a lower bracket elimination game, in my opinion.
Absolutely not. Yeah, you still have so much more to... I mean, you have a lot more to play for, I feel like, in a lower bracket elimination game, because it's... I always like to call it the hunger, like how much you actually really want to win this game. And at this stage, because it is do or die for these teams, that's where the hunger really kicks in. It's, all right, this is our last chance to really show what we have. You're coming into the first best of one. It is sometimes difficult to have that full mentality of, all right, we're going to come into this and just completely grind it out and win. Some teams do come in and surprise it. That's why I believe we saw such a close result between NRG as well as Astralis, because Astralis were coming in and probably thinking, it's just another day at the office, and NRG came in and just gave it their absolute full and all, and Astralis had to fight back as well. So that's when we see such great overtime games, and similarly for Tyloo and SK as well.
Yeah, definitely. And Legacy, this is where we're going to see how hungry they are to sort of move forward in the competition, or at least even give themselves a chance to do so. All starts with this map, and they'll have to take the next one as well if they do want to move on in the lower bracket. And not only, you know, will they have to dig deep to make it to the arena in beating one of their domestic rivals that almost always gets the better of them historically, but then they'll have to take out one of the best in the world. No small feat, but starts with a small step, as do most journeys.
Absolutely, one small step at a time, and at the moment they've got to be concentrating on Mirage. The last time these two teams did face off, it was a pretty easy victory for Order, so this is going to be a very daunting task for Legacy already. They definitely need to take these pistol rounds, and they need to be able to execute on the T side much, much better than they did.
Yeah, we'd have to agree with you, and a map like Mirage is going to lend itself more to that sort of style if they are more prepared on that. When you have a stand-in, you know, especially at this kind of short notice, you can only get yourselves prepared on so many maps. So when you end up in a best-of-3 series like this, especially when it comes to elimination, you have certain things prepared because you can only prepare on so many maps. So the one that you pick is almost definitely your best chance at getting it, even more so than normal, because you won't even have the depth of the map pool when the other team starts to move further down the order. You won't have as many things prepared on the other maps. So Mirage is Legacy's chance to even up the series, and then if it goes to Overpass, like I said in predictions, I don't think they have much of a chance to actually even close out the series, but we'll see how Mirage goes first.
They're just going to be focusing one step at a time. You don't think about, when you're climbing a mountain, you don't think about just getting to the summit immediately. You've got to think about, all right, there's the first step in front of me, and I've got to make sure I don't trip. And this is the first step in many, Mitch.
Climbing up the cliff, you're not looking at the top, you're just looking right in front of you.
You're looking at the handhold directly in front of you, and well, for this cliff, it is starting to crumble down around them because they are down 1-0 in this series so far, but they definitely have a chance of striking back. Here we go, jumping into Mirage. It is going to be Legacy versus Order in the second map of the series.
All starts with this pistol round, and you know what? In the last game, they might have got a little bit fortunate here and there, Legacy, with some of the rounds that they were given. And once again, we're seeing this double P250 come out. This time dropped over to one of the armored players so we can put it to better use. But smoke flash on two of the players. See which bomb site they do take it. And imagine it's got the kit and the smoke for the post plant if necessary. Looks like lots of players heading out towards B pretty early here. We do see Stat with that P250 armor trying to peek out A ramp, see if he can pick anybody on the cross. Liaz looking for a bit of a duel onto Lons up towards top mid, but that pressure has been applied just a little bit by Legacy, so it's going to keep Order guessing a little bit more.
Very intriguing to note, Order have actually left this B side relatively open for the CT or for the T side. There is no one directly watching B apps. It's going to be controlled through that short position instead, as well as through any rotations coming forward. But here we are, Legacy are going to be hitting the bomb site. They're rolling forward. And they're just going to be jumping straight out through the edge of the smoke grenades. Order, no chance for a response just yet. They're just going to be grouping up the forces and getting ready for a retake.
Yeah, and that one pick from Sicko is going to make it a lot easier. Stat still at top mid, trying to pick any rotations, and the bomb goes down. They're going to have to retake through shop and short, and this action is about to kick off.
Yeah, Stat's not even allowed a single opportunity to do some damage. It's up to Lonsdale, LaCour, as well as Soju to do the heavy lifting, especially on Lonsdale and LaCour, as Lonsdale's found two more. So he's picked up two in this round so far. And everything just once again just slowing down as Lonsdale just making that P250 look so lethal right now. He's continuing the killing spree right now. Alistair trying to dance closer to the bomb site, but he's actually just positioned himself between two Ts. Nice shot onto Soju. Brilliant shot into Lonsdale, but he has to retrieve the kit. There's just no time. He's just have to try to back off into the corner and try to survive. We'll be able to do so. But that is some good shooting coming out from Lonsdale.
Absolutely, he didn't even have armor as opposed to his counterpart in Stat, and he just secures all three of those kills. LaCour with the other, and the B site hit is successful. Order giving it to them and going for the retake, but just not picking up the pace enough to make that interesting. Lonsdale gets all the picks in the mid round, and that just staggers them down, trying to be chased down, and Lonsdale's picking off their legs as they try to move forward.
The Order have invested in this round, but coming out very quickly. Lonsdale has taken a lot of damage, and it means Alistair is going to come back up for a second go. He's also got a scout alongside with Sicko as well. That means that one of the AKs has been lost in the open. Legacy have forced up a lot in this round. They've invested in Galils and AK-47s, all of them.
Full investment, and we'll see whether it gets them the round. So far, one person dead, one person tagged, down to one shot range with either a Deagle or a Scout, and there is two Scouts across the board. CZs and one Deagle, so we'll see if any more damage will be able to be inflicted. Legacy completely spread out here. Soju's waiting for someone to peek window, and Sicko, he just jump spots it, doesn't overextend, gets the information, and rifles across the board is going to make it pretty difficult to fight with these close encounters like the A-ramp, like the mid connector with the CZs, and this might be the downfall of Legacy, but they will be coming out the Palace. The problem is that what are you going to do once you take that site? You don't have ramp control, you don't have connector or jungle, you're pretty much surrounded at that point. And it's going to be all on the connector push, in my opinion. It's going to be about Soju and Blitz.
Yeah, Alistair does miss the first initial shot, but he's still staying alive, which is very important. Liaz decides to make his presence known, but with the Desert Eagle, may have been better off with the CZ at that particular position in time. Imagine will walk into his death because Stat is ready and waiting to trade out. His teammate has fallen down, but Hats is still alive. Alistair, that's the best you can hope for in that situation. Go for one, has done a lot of damage. These Scouts are just absolute nuisances for Legacy to deal with. It's all down to Soju now on the 1-on-2. The bomb's nowhere near his control.
Yeah, 20 seconds to go, and I don't even think that they know Hats is in a ramp at this point, so
Nope.
There's nothing that they could do at that point.
So there it is. Legacy, they lose the anti-eco.
They do, and AK retained on the side of Hats. Definitely going to help him out a little bit more, and Legacy might go for this force by now.
I would say they have to. They're on a double eco regardless, and we're seeing the armor as well as the pistols come out. Not a round you want to be dropping for Legacy at this stage. All rifles as well. It's a very costly round. I mean, the only benefit to them is that while Order didn't take it convincingly, they didn't pick up a few rifles here and there. It was only a single AK-47 retrieved. It still means Order does have a decent buy coming into this round. We've got 2 rifles, a Scout, and 2 SMGs to back up the majority of the work.
think when we watched Legacy versus Tainted on this game, it was a bit of a back and forth buying fest, if I remember correctly, and we'll see if Legacy's able to convert any of these pistols like they were against Tainted, or whether it's just going to be pretty straightforward here for Order. Lots of presence in mid, but Order's not giving them up any picks. You can come up connector into my AK, says Hats, and imagine getting himself in a pretty good position in the jungle, and I guess he's not able to get anything done. Ooh, Liaz thinks better a push. Oh, Stat, that's so sharp. Just runs straight through the smoke and snaps his head off, and that's going to give them the man advantage. Look at the movement from all these Legacy players, just instantly grouping up towards B.
And they know the weakness as well, because with Liaz being that short player, they know there's only going to be one here, and Alistair's going to have to back off quite far. It's also going to cause a rotation from Imagine as well. He's just going to be dropping some utility to get into prime position for this take if Legacy decide to commit for it. Now Stat's going to be coming out from short, but he's maybe coming out a little bit too early on. Now the rest of the members are coming up. Alistair sharp with the FAMAS though, gaining the damage across. Now Imagine also with the MP9 contributing. A very perilous situation for them to be in, but they navigate the waters very, very well. Order do pick that up, only losing Liaz in the process.
Yeah, and that's from, you know, Stat pretty much hitting one of the most insane shots I've seen all day. Alistair looking incredibly sharp as well, moving into this second map, 7 for 1, and his aim is just looking so crisp, locking onto heads like a laser beam. And with only that one gun lost for Order, their economy is going to start building here, and only Glocks across the board from Legacy shouldn't be able to get very much done in this round whatsoever. Molotov definitely not going to let them out of that ramp. HENA doesn't do much, and they're just going to spread out and have a chat. They need to get these T rounds snowballing pretty quickly here so that they can give themselves a great chance in this map.
Yeah, but you can already see that already, just the aggression from Legacy, just a bit more of a classic Longtail round, a bit of an FFA where Legacy are just trying to spread out, finding opportunities, shut down routinely by Order, and now they're starting to build up money in the bank account. So we might see a bonus round coming out from some of their members. It's like Alistair and Liaz actually exchanging weapons, which is pretty interesting.
Alistair's got himself an AWP, so straight into the double AWP early into this game. Definitely going to hinder their economy quite a bit on the side of Order, and we will see if Legacy's ready for it. Definitely plenty of utility across the board.
I mean, I was going to say as well, with the double AWP, if it does work, it's going to catch Legacy off by surprise. If you're able to cart these AWPs forward, who knows what's going to happen.
But look at this from Legacy, straight in towards B. Alistair's ready for them, and he's had a great game so far. Will he be able to continue it in this gun round with the AWP? Smoke's being lined up, and Legacy players eager, ready to go. 2 players on short as well for Order on the quick rotate.
Oh, but Alistair's just gone in at potentially the worst time possible. All the T's lining up grenades. Surely they should be able to hear the scope. The flashbang comes forward. Alistair's in a dire position, so he decides to rely with a Deagle instead. It's not going to work out. Only minimal damage done. There's no one on the B-bomb site. And as a result, it means that the rest of Legacy can flood in. No one's retrieved the AWP of Alistair just yet. They're more preoccupied with getting that bomb plant down. Legacy do manage to do so, and that is just an absolute letdown coming out from the double AWP setup very early on.
Yeah, it doesn't do a whole lot, although Lacour's losing a lot of HP to this Molotov. I would imagine Order's probably just going to save. They still have plenty of utility, just the amount of cash that's invested in these weapons, armor, or the utility in the kits. Not worth even going for it at this point, or even contesting Legacy. We can allow their economy to build up a little bit more as long as ours is doing okay. We'll be playing a couple gun rounds in a row, but if you feel like you're the superior team, then most likely you'll be pretty much happy playing consecutive gun rounds in a row.
Yep, but Legacy do manage to pick the first buy round up. And I must say it was a very, very soft buy round.
Yeah, I would have to say so. I mean, on the side of Order, some of the things they had, apart from the double AWPs, of course, might have been on the weaker side, maybe holding one of those SMGs, I think it was. But now, straight into the rifles across the board. Legacy didn't have to do a whole lot to win that one. Just one flash, and Alistair wasn't able to really do anything from that point. He pretty much got swarmed and overwhelmed, and the setup that they had was very reliant on that AWP being able to fall back and buy time for the rest of the players to rotate into position. Different look here from Legacy. Spread out across the board. No contact plays straight out, but lots of presence towards A. 3 players with the bomb in spawn. No presence on mid. Just trying to make sure Soju can spot anybody pushing up towards the top of the mid and getting too much information. I think it's Lonsdale actually being pretty aggressive in the apps. Trying to take a few shots at whoever's jump spotting there, and does force out the smoke. So good stuff from Legacy. Making sure they don't lose too much information in the early parts of this round. And then they could decide what they want to do from there. Bomb's already heading towards A with 4 players there. Lonsdale's probably going to drop towards mid or underpass. And we'll see how the round breaks down from there. Smoke's out. Which ones are they? Is this a jungle? No, this is just stairs and jungle. Standard A hit.
If you standard A hit, they're rolling in right now. Imagine just going to be spraying through Palace, just trying to find any picks he possibly can. But Blitz and Lakora has taken some damage from the Incendiary Grenade, and the bomb hasn't crossed over yet. There is a significant gap for them to be utilizing. If EMAG just peeks out a little bit wider, could have denied the bomb plant, but he just held on just a little bit too long, playing a little bit too safe, didn't know what we knew. And so it's going to be a full 5-on-5 retake. But look at this. The CT still have 2 Incendiary Grenades to use. And the Ts, there is almost nothing whatsoever, only a single flashbang. And now the CTs are going to be making inroads in. Lonsdale finally going to be pushing it from behind, but Soju just playing underneath balcony. Lakor also finding the impact they need. Legacy, Soju has been so good with the AK-47 so far. Finally being shut down, but this is going to have to be another save coming out from Order. There is no way Indy can get in with just a single AWP, and they're going to have to go on the eco, or a very, very odd force buy, as Alistair is going to be surrounded from all sides. Should be able to take this all forward, though.
Legacy just playing the angles too well on that post plant for Order to retake into them, despite having a couple of utilities being used on the side of Order. There wasn't a whole lot that they could do, just angles in the favor of Legacy, and they're winning all the aim duels at that point. And the standard, you know, safe A hit works out beautifully. Another buy round coming out for Order, just with 1 SMG. Definitely been saving their guns, but they don't want to let Legacy keep stringing these rounds together. Look at the money, 5,000 across the board for pretty much everybody. So that's at least 2 buy rounds in a row that Legacy will have to work with. No restock territory in sight.
Well, the story so far has been that the buy rounds on the side of Legacy, they've barely lost any members whatsoever. As this is looking very similar to what they did in their first buy round. Coming into the B bomb site, Alistair spotted a few.
Drop Molotov, and we'll be able to put that MP9 to some pretty good use. That's a nice HE nade. Does a chunk of damage to 2 different players, and Lons is going to throw the Molotov and fake falling back. No one's going to be even close enough to hear any of that anyway, but Liaz's going to go for the mid-round, spots at least 2 players out and picks up Lons through the wall. He's actually going to aggress again. Drops his own Molotov. Will he peek behind it? Definitely slowing down this Legacy push, but look at Lakor moving through mid here. He's definitely going to be the player to watch on this Legacy T side, and in this round in particular, because he's got to make the difference. He's got to get a pick and even up the stakes if Legacy's going to have any chance of succeeding here at B.
Now come the smoke grenades and the flashbang. Soju trying to find the timing, but Liaz, it's going to be Lakor actually picking off Liaz from the side, but Alistair close range of the MP9, only being able to find a low HP Legacy member is not going to be good enough, because now the smoke should be able to lock them out. There's going to be through and through retake kits for the CTs to use, but Lakor with that positioning was able to do the bulk of the damage. Imagine just jump spotting, not going to be helping to hit a shot there. Blitz is locking down the flank as well. This is looking very perilous for Order, unless they're able to get a few picks working in their favor. They have to draw Blitz's attention away. It's not going to be enough, because Stat with the AK-47, no one able to do any damage from Market. It's all down to Hats coming on the flank, and just too many targets to find. He's eventually going to go down to Lakor. He's just been sitting underneath window, and Legacy are going to be going into the lead. They're also going to force Order into an eco as well. Their T side have been working phenomenally well so far.
Feels like they haven't really been giving Order any chance at winning these rounds for the most part. You know, last map, completely different story. I feel like Order, so many opportunities to grab picks in the opening parts of the round, you know, moving up towards the inner ramp and just picking down the lines with Sicko's AWP, but the AWPs haven't had a whole lot of chance against Legacy so far in this game. Just been hitting either bomb site, using a lot of utility to sort of segment off those lines and smoke out to top mid, smoke out to window. They got all their I's and T's crossed and dotted. Molotov onto the connector as well, and only against pistols this round, so a lot less to worry about. Lakor just blocking that aggression from Hats, and he does have, who is that? One, I think. Imagine's looking for him as well, through the A ramp.
Yeah, it seems like Lakor is ready for it, so it's just a bit of a dance between the two. But otherwise, Alistair trying to find these opportunities with his Desert Eagle. Not much given to him so far, though. There's the rest of Legacy just falling back, and once again, just prioritizing this B bomb site. It's been working so far, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, look, it's similar to what the T side of On Train was from Legacy. I mean, they weren't having a lot of success, but when they were having success, they were taking control of the game and they were making Order react to them rather than the other way around. And so far, that's what it's been on this Mirage T side. They've been hitting the bomb sites and they've been hitting them hard and, you know, playing the post plants very, very well. So, you know, despite having that man advantage on the B side in the last round, you know, LaCour makes a good move and they're able to buy enough time for him to slip through mid, and they were able to convert it from there. The post plant was played very, very well from the Legacy guys, so we'll see if they're able to continue to secure these rounds. Good smokes to just minimize the risk, although the pistols could run up in the smoke. They're probably going to be taken care of as LaCour's got the line locked down from Palace. And we'll see what Order's response is, because at the moment they haven't had a whole lot to do in this CT side.
I mean, it's just down to them losing the B bomb site at the end of the day, and there's no excuse for losing the B bomb site. You just got to shore up the defenses. There wasn't a ridiculous play coming out. It was just literally a smart play coming out from Legacy. They're walking out the back of the flashbang. Maybe you've got one coming in from short, and Order just caught napping. Need to make sure that they wake up at this stage, because you can't be bleeding too many rounds. The T-side economy is slowly starting to balloon out of control. And for Order, if they get reset at any particular point in time, it means that Legacy can just run away with this half.
Still 7 rounds left to play here, and you know, it all starts with this one for Order, but the problem is that Legacy's economy is in full bloom. You know, they can win, they can go for another 2 or 3 gun rounds, I would say, further in this half, and if Order win this one and don't retain enough guns and they lose the next one, they're straight back in the bin in terms of money. So definitely very, very shaky waters here for Order. If they make the wrong move, then they'll be thrown overboard.
So right now, back into it we go as Order. They have decided to just get the single up on Sicko, who's jumped up. Liaz just showing his foot, draws a single shot out. LaCour had the best spawn, so it's going to be a furious juggle of weapons for Legacy before they give Blitz back the AWP. And look at that, Sicko, a lot of damage done with that single shot. Stat and Soju both in 16. Molotov just trying to put some pressure on Sicko, but he's already back into safety. You can't touch him at the moment, Legacy.
Looking like a smoke towards jungle or con. Most likely jungle as 3 players moving their way straight up towards connector. Smoke not quite good enough to stop Sicko from peering into the connector line. If he swings wide enough, what is that?
Yeah, absolutely disgusting, because there's an absolute slaughter field coming out between Sicko and Imagine. Makes it look too easy. Lonsdale on the lurk at A ramp, at the very least able to find a single opportunity, but Blitz has been isolated by himself. They know where the last 2 Ts are. This means it should be a pretty routine cleanup from here. It's just going to be down to that Blitz trying to do some more damage. Liaz won't allow him the opportunity to do so. That round really just won on the back of Sicko and Imagine, just locking down connector with the AWP and the M4. So already the tactical pause, just a reminding Order what's at stake.
Thing is that Legacy definitely picked up the pace in that round towards mid, which is a look they haven't really given Order yet. Didn't really work out too well for them. Maybe stick more towards the bomb sites and back towards what was working, but you can't blame them. You know, everything's been working. You got to go for something different, especially after a tactical pause where Order can sort of talk out what's going wrong here. Blitz coming out towards middle here. Just an AK for him, no AWP in this round, and plenty of utility once again expended by Legacy on mid, but they're going to go straight out towards A here.
Yeah, but Imagine has rotated across. Smokes and counter incendiary grenades not going to be used. The incendiary grenades actually not going to be used by the CT side. Imagine trying to dance and play close to the smoke. I mean, he's going to deplete his clip. The bomb plant is going to go down. Hats not allowed the opportunity to deny it. He's just going to play safe around triple. Flashbangs means that he had a very limited opportunity to actually find the picks. So the rest of the Ts are going to try and back off. But Soju has to spot it out where Soju is. LaCour trying to crawl out the edge of the smoke. He's actually going to pick off 2 members of the CT side. And Legacy is still no worse for the wear. Blitz now on the long rotate around as LaCour is just single-handedly mopping them up from Palace. Finally, someone stopping the killing spree. At this stage, it's already too late. LaCour, the single-man army for Legacy, as they got to 6-4. And this is the worst scenario for Order to be in, where they reset.
Yeah, interesting. You can see Legacy's depth of preparation on this map. They throw the standard, you know, A smoke execute towards the bomb site, and then they throw a completely different one that time. They throw the right side smokes with the plant on triple, and those flashes from Blitz A ramp just completely nullified anything Order could do about that plant. Fully blinds everyone at triple and jungle. Not only does it stop secure them the plant, but it doesn't let Order pick them on the way out, retreating from the bomb site. Once they get to that post plant, I didn't really think it was going to go very well for Legacy. Only one of them had a Molotov. Soju throws that towards Ticket, and they do have the angles that we're used to seeing from them that they've done so well in the post plant. But, you know, it was really LaCour. That 4K really secures the round for them. Obviously, I'm not sure whether it would have gone so well without that.
Yeah, it could have been a completely different story if it wasn't for the impact made out of Palace from the fill-in. And now Lacour starting to have a bit of a fun time as well. Legacy do not want to be dropping this bomb. They want to be keeping applying the pressure. Looks like they're defaulting back into the B bomb site presence. Keeping it slow, keeping it mellow for now.
They're all going to group up. Around comes Lacour after just scouting towards A. He's going to actually go towards mid and might run into Liaz here. Sicko actually picks him up from the connector line, so this is pretty much going to be the word go for Legacy.
Yeah, Alistair just needs to try to stay alive as long as possible. 1 for 1, probably the best you can hope for in that scenario. Now Sicko's been able to rotate the York forward. Blitz, good turnaround. If Blitz went down that scenario, Soju, it would have been very difficult for him to complete the retake. But now out come the utility. Sicko barely missing that shot. He's also trying to get the wall bang down. Now the CTs have the luxury of slowing things down, and Liaz actually able to pick up Blitz at the very end of the day. So it's all down to Soju, down in the open, dinked out, no chance whatsoever. That's not a round that you want to be dropping for Legacy, but they drop it regardless. So Order do manage to pick up a round. Actually takes so many rifles forward as well. You've got the Yorp, you've got the 2 AK-47s. That's going to be very, very difficult for Legacy now to do some further damage. They can still buy up, but Order, their money is straight back into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, it's just another one of those opportunities thrown away. Legacy able to get a similar round on their T side of train, but Order, you know, they're behind. They're afforded a round where if Sicko's got an AWP, you've always got a chance, especially with some of these Order players. They look so sharp on the pistols, and unfortunately, Lacour just going out towards mid forces them early and towards B with no pressure anywhere else, and doesn't make any of the Order players even think twice about where they need to defend. They're still stuck on the bomb sites in position. Even though he only 1 for 1s, the retake is just very successful there from Order.
But a change up for Legacy once again.
Yeah, they're going for the fast 3 out Palace, 1 out ramp, 1 towards mid.
Let's see how this goes, because the flashbang is actually very good, because it catches the magic completely blind, but Hats has been waiting this entire time. The bomb has been lost in the open. Soju's still trying to dance around, and this is the danger right now. The prongs of attack are just completely separated, and eventually they do need to regroup on the A bomb site. It is going to be a 3-on-3. Alistair taking a lot of damage, but Hats sneaking ever so closer, knows there's one in Palace, and knows there's one coming up mid. It's going to be Stat actually here doing damage, unless Blitz can find some amazing shots coming out from the AWP. Flashbangs coming in, allows Stat a lot of presence into the bomb site. He's going to be tapping away and making a bit of noise, but finally Blitz, he comes out with a flashbang, needed the gun out as Hats goes absolutely huge. 4 kills locking down the A bomb site. Legacy, now this is where they're starting to struggle to close out this half. They had the prime opportunity to do so, but now it's 6 apiece.
Yeah, and their money definitely suffering now. Lacour gonna even up his money with the rest of his team. Just get a CZ and some utilities. Same story for Soju. And we'll see if they have anything particular in mind. Just a couple of upgraded pistols and some armor, some utility. Gonna all work towards B, so probably 2 smokes out towards B bomb site. Maybe the 3rd also being thrown somewhere towards the site. And not only the 2 archers. Actually, they're going to go straight out. No smokes being thrown, just flashes. And look at that utility.
Yeah, and Liaz is just going to be holding firm right now. He's going to find the 3rd as well. Spraying them down. Just recoil control. Calm, cool, and collected as Lacour is going to last one straggling out. It denies Liaz the ace. That is what you want to be seeing from a player at Archers, just that calm spray coming out, just making sure there's no danger whatsoever, making it look too easy. So Legacy do have a buy into this, but it just feels like another tale of a half where they had the advantage, they could have pressed it forward, but Order have come back into it, and they're looking strong to actually close out this half 9-6 themselves.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I mean, we had a pretty dominant run from Legacy when they were hitting the bomb sites, and everything seemed to be working from them. They did get pretty fortunate in some of those rounds that they didn't even have to run into some of these holds from Order, rather. Just kind of guessing right onto which spot to hit, or maybe a bit of prior knowledge coming in there. But as the rounds start to break down here, Order definitely getting the better of Legacy a little bit. This will be the round that defines whether Order come through with the 9-6, given that Legacy might not have the best money, should still have like 3.5k to 4k or something next round, possibly. Especially if they get the bomb plant, but that's not a good start. Liaz picking up 1 from Cat.
And clearing that also means that, you know, there's going to be no more aggression at mid. So Hats, he's been solid so far. He's going to be flashed and mollied out of position. And it means Legacy are going to be finding him easy pickings. Imagine still trying to hold the angle. He's going to be rewarded. Drops the bomb carry at the same time. Sicko makes sure there is no palace danger coming out from LaCour this time. Blitz very, very low as Lonsdale finally making his move up connector. It is down to Liaz just trying to get the spray through. Can't get the transfer. One-on-one. Sicko versus Lonsdale. Ex-teammate versus ex-teammate. But it's going to be Sicko coming out on top. In order to manage to barely win the half. Can they secure a 9-6 is the real question.
No bomb plant for Legacy is going to mean a lot of their players sitting on around the 3K mark. So not AKs across the board, unfortunately. Only some of their players will be afforded that luxury. And the rest of them going to have to go CZ armor utilities. So probably would be a good time for a set piece from the side of Legacy. We've seen them come up with plenty of them. So let's see if they got anything special in mind to get these CZs into position. Lons once again looking primed to go for a bit more of this entry kind of style. Seems pretty fearless so far in this half.
Yeah, and it's worked out pretty well so far, because imagine as well as Hats have gone down, Sicko, now the pressure, what a flick coming out to LaCour. Now the AK is still raining through, so eventually he's going to go down to the Molotov, but it does buy critical time to reset this back into a 2-on-2 for Order.
Yeah, it's just repositioning around CT. His teammates probably going to join in with the AWP. And Liaz, look at all this utility. He's got the Molotov to flush out. Maybe the fireboxes can smoke out. I would probably go for the bomb if you don't have enough for both ramp and palace. But see what he does end up going for here. And look at his position over here towards jungle.
He's got a lot of control right now, but Blitz, he might not need a teammate because he might just be doing the work by himself. Alistair's going to try and go directly for it, but Stat will be able to spray him down. So once again, another very even half. Order barely getting the advantage, 8-7. We'll find out who will be able to take down the map after the break. Welcome back to Sydney, everyone. If you've just tuned in, it is half-time for IEM Sydney 2018. between our elimination match between Legacy as well as Order. Currently the score is just barely in the favor of Order, 8-7. It feels like we saw this before in Train. Exact same story.
Yeah, definitely, but this time it's their map picks, so the other half, you know, they should have a bit more depth, a few more things to go to. And definitely going to have to see some of these players step up individually against the side of Order. They're looking pretty smiley. They're feeling pretty cruisy at this point. One map advantage for them. They felt like a lot of that half, the rounds the other team were winning, they didn't have a lot of a say in it because it's just one of those things, you're running into a weak point on the map, on the T side, and end up getting gifted the round. But when it came up to the straight up rounds, it felt like Order had it most of the time.
And once again, another slow pistol round coming out from Order. They're spread across and maybe not slow anymore because there's the first opening pick, a 1-for-1 trade. Good shots coming out from both sides as now it's equalized to a 4-on-4 scenario. Now the danger is now LaCour, it looks like he's stepping up. He has had enough of being bullied around the B side and Train. He's just looking for more picks. But Sicko just going to be waiting this entire time. The kit's actually lost. Has done well, but it's just constant aggression, fights after fights. It is going to eventually resolve in the favor of Legacy. Downton has to try to complete this 1 and 2. He's got the USP. He can never count him out. But Blitz and LaCour, they are similarly very sharp with the USPs as well. Sitting at the off angles, Blitz waiting for the contact. 50 seconds. Hat's just going to reposition himself.
Yeah, bomb down for the Legacy boys, and they're going to be able to give plenty of time to get themselves in whatever position they like. Might feel a little bit timid on moving, however, because they don't know where Hats is going to be. Could be walking up through Connector as we speak. Could be going for the CT flank, which LaCour just checked. Could be in jungle, jumping from Cat. But none of the above. Going to walk his way out. Tetris Blitz is going to feel safer to move, and what a great timing for him to hit. Going to really narrow down the angles he has to lock down. Only has to look in one direction. Hat's walking straight into it.
Yeah, it's going to be making some gunshots as well. Not checking underneath balcony yet. And Blitz just a single bullet needed to finish the job. And that's what Legacy need, the pistol round. Now they have to take this anti-eco. They cannot afford to drop it at this stage.
Absolutely. And rifles bought for Blitz and LaCour. Lon's going to go for the utility and the MP9. See what the rest of them do go for. Soju, interesting to see him pick up the FAMAS armor with no utility on the SMGs. Probably going to be playing some kind of position where he can just lock down a long angle of sight and won't have to worry about too much else. Same for start. Not going to have a Molotov to stop any kind of rush, but it's looking like Order pretty spread out at the moment. 2 towards A. Hat's going to look for a deagle pick towards Connector. Does tag up Blitz. Just going to give each other a bit of a tit for tat. About 20 HP, 30 for Blitz. And Flash coming out towards B, but no committal here for Imagine. Just going to make sure nobody's getting too much information behind that B apartment smoke. And he's going to head towards underpass, bomb towards A. Hat's just locking down some of these lines for Imagine in mid so that he can creep his way up through the connector, but already out Tetris.
Yep, LaCour's got the silence stem for us, being able to find the first opening pick, and now the second as well. Still trying to dance around and just tap away, but he's eventually out of bullets. Hats will get the pick, but it just leaves Sicko by himself, because the rest of the Legacy will be able to swing by and avenge their fallen comrade. So look at that. They even retrieve both of the M4s as well. So very well done from Legacy to deflect all the aggression.
Good stuff from them, Order. Imagine's got himself 1 flash, so just looking for a bump line in this round, and definitely would help them in the next round.
Probably a waterfall, to be honest. Just a single
old
flashbang.
waterfall. How
Old
relaxing.
waterfall. It's
And then
it's
at
a
the
sight to
bottom,
behold.
at the bottom, it's a bit grim.
Yeah, it's just it starts off beautiful with a bunch of T's flowing out, and then it cascades into bodies hitting the floor, and then screaming.
Sometimes you can find a pot of gold in the bomb plant at the end of the waterfall.
Yeah, so here we go. They all come out, and it's just pretty much a shooting gallery right now. Soju and LaCour, they're just gobbling it up, and so the bomb plant won't go down.
It's a bit like the competitive shooting that they do. You know, you have the thing that shoots the plates out, which are the T's, and then the CTs see how many of them they can hit in quick succession, how long.
I mean, normally we'd say that this should be a clean up for the CT side, as now we do see Order finally into their first buy round and Legacy with a bonus round. But going a little bit off tangent here, I've also seen Waterfalls out of Palace with Glocks actually win a game before.
Pretty impressive stuff. I'd love to see those ones, but got to move forward here into this game. FAMAS and MP9 retained on the side of Legacy. Once again, they will throw that B apps progression smoke. That will be Stat just on his own, really. Applying a little bit of pressure. It is actually going to work pretty well. Order Liaz will have heard that, but they're not even going to consider contesting that, as most of them are towards middle. But Legacy don't seem too interested at this point. They're going to play outside of the connector, just in jungle, make sure nobody boosts up too much, and top connector smoke is going to grant Order that connector control.
But look how much utility Legacy have used coming into this, and similarly Order, they didn't have the most, but we're down already just barely 45 seconds, and there's nothing to play with for both sides. Only a few flashbang and smoke grenades. You'd still expect a lot more on the CT side, and all the positions are being reset at the moment, Mitch. As Order have managed to grab this ladder control as well.
Yeah, they definitely have, and we're seeing Order really group up towards this B-bomb side. Only some flashbangs being left on them. They're going to use one of them to clear the close apps position. No Molotov to flush Stat out here, so will he be able... Oh, 3 people already here.
Yeah, but there's similarly a lot of T's coming out. Stat trying to spray down with the M4. It is going to be Order coming out on top. 4 kills for 2. I don't need a degree in mathematics to know that's going to be favorable for Order. It's going to leave Lonsdale by himself. And Lonsdale, just on the MP9, might just be looking for any cheeky exits he can potentially find. I think a victory for them in this round is a little bit too far-flung. Just going to be meandering around to see if he can find a free opportunity. And there it is. He can't even find that one.
I don't know, first like 6 bullets seemed to hit hats and the rest of them just went off on an adventure. Unfortunately, I can't believe that went so badly for Legacy. They had one already in shop, 2 people in position to defend that push from Order, but all the shots just being hit by the Order players, just entries for days. Legacy players falling left and right, and they seem to make that one look so easy when positional-wise, I felt like Legacy were all over it.
It's another go for Legacy, though. We have to admit that was their bonus round for them. They had MP9s, they had for Masters. That's not the firepower they want. They've got the firepower they want now. The AWP in the hands of Blitz, M4s as well across the board. Order, similarly, they've got the full kit to use in this round. Already stacking hats. Going to be coming quite close to each other.
Interesting approach there from Order. They threw the quick smokes from T-spawn out towards the short, and I'm not sure if it was top mid or they did throw the jump throw one to window. But doesn't work out too well for them as, you know, Soju and Stat both pushing in front of the smokes and seeing what opportunities they could get. And Soju does get them the man advantage. So good start there from Legacy.
Bit of damage now also exchanged between Alistair and Stat. It is going to be Alistair getting the better of his counterpart at short. And with 2 low players on the CT side, Legacy need to play cautiously. They've got the numbers advantage, but not really the HP advantage at this stage. All it requires is a single AK-47 bullet for one of the members to topple over. And now Order are going to be grouping up together with just Alistair running interference.
Yeah, and they've got Molotovs to clear out bench. They can clear out balcony. They can clear out van. Lons is the only person with a lot of HP here ready to defend this. Stat, he might be at bench. He might be on an off angle. So Lons with the flash, not going to get him anything. And it's going to tell Order a little bit more about what Legacy's doing than the other way around. Alistair with the kill.
Yeah, and that also means that Lonsdale, he starts going into B apps, and Stat, he's just biding his time and waiting. He's eventually going to make his position known, though. And once again, that's where, because he was so low early on from that engagement, it means Alistair can just be tagging and bagging them right now. It's going to be Blitz trying desperately to save this AWP. Flashbang is good, but not good enough, because Alistair, through the edge of that, able to deny the AWP. Well, he won't be able to pick it up, but the round scores are tied apiece. The Legacy just going to be on the pistols for this one.
Absolutely, and just such a stop and start round. I can't believe Alistair found his way up through connector into that window room and actually picks one of these low Legacy players. I mean, it was kind of the story of that round. 2 of them lost 90 of their HP, you know, very quickly into that one, despite, you know, getting themselves a man advantage. And that did make it pretty hard for them. Order able to pick up those players pretty easily with just a few stray bullets. And once Lonsdale's out of the equation, you only have Stat on 10 HP. He's on an off angle there to get himself 1, but at that point you're 2 for 1-ing and you're pretty sad.
But imagine if you're on 100 HP at that stage. That's why sometimes we talk about the numbers advantage. That's why we talk about the HP advantage, because it definitely comes into effect in scenarios like this. So a tactical pause from Legacy, just slowly going to be talking it out and think about what they need to be carting forward into this next couple of rounds.
Yeah, and this is where Order can really throw anything at them if they want. They can make a change up. They can stick to what's working. It's looking like a lot of players towards the A-bomb side here.
Would they throw the kitchen sink?
No, they're not going towards B, so they can't technically do that, but we'll see them go towards A against these pistols. Just going to be a save for Legacy.
Oh, but just the save, just USPs. We've seen the damage done before, and already Liaz is being dinked out. And Order going to be rolling out on the A-bomb site. Molotovs do clear out a lot of these angles to make sure they don't have to be worried about these positions. So the USPs and the pistols are now locked behind the smoke grenades. It is up to the AKs really to try to find a little bit more damage.
But we're talking about 10-10, Kev. Bomb goes down. All of these T's still alive, not losing any money. And it's looking like they're just taking control of this game. They're looking confident. And I can't expect anything less in the next gun round out of Order. You know, they might only be going up against pistols here, but it looks like they've got their mind in the right place. They don't want to be losing guns. They're taking all the right steps in the right places. And Stat, he might be in ramp, but don't think he's going to actually get anything done from that position.
No, just waiting for any potential fortunate exits this way, but Order not going to present many opportunities. They're covering each other, brothers in arms. Alistair might actually go down to the bomb explosion. Stat definitely will. There goes Alistair, so single AK lost. Order aren't going to be too perturbed about it.
Probably not.
I mean, for now, Order have got all the right things in all the right places. Another pause called out for Legacy.
Yep.
And is this where it's going to be going down?
I mean, I feel like, great reference by the way, and they're going to have to buy up into this one and discuss how they're going to approach this Order T side. I feel like there's not too much to go on apart from, you know, the fact that Order, they have been throwing out those spokes from T-spawn towards mid, and then just tend to be using them with a couple of players getting into position and then creeping in the mid round up through connector, up short, taking advantage of some of these Legacy players being caught in vulnerable positions, let's say.
Absolutely, because they've been picked off sometimes, and even though they've come out on top maybe in some aim deals, they've taken a lot of HP damage, and the rest of the Legacy members can't really convert that numbers advantage if Order are just coming in and getting the trades. And look at this change up in pace. Yeah,
straight towards the A-bomb site, looking like they're going to set up some of these smokes, one towards the Palace, and just keep it fairly stock standard here. Oh, the Molotov off towards triple from on the head stack, loving it.
Yep,
out they come. Look at those 3 Molotovs. That's a thing of beauty. One of them doesn't land. Let's not mention that.
Yeah, so that actually means that Blitz can stay here. This is actually a very potent position for an AWP to be sitting at. He's done damage to Liaz. He can still dance around for a very long time. AK spray coming forward. Hat's going to be making his way to Firebox. He spotted out the shoulder of Alistair. And Blitz still alive, but it means that he's drawing so much attention for Lacour to do the damage. Rotations coming across means that eventually Legacy do manage to resolve the site take with a 2-man advantage. It's a 2-on-1, or I should say 1-man advantage. It's 2-on-1, but Sicko, he's on full HP and a single flashbang to work with still. Bomb out in the open. Soju does have a few bomb or grenades to work with as well. Stat just shoulder peeking it periodically. Sicko is going to spot this out, so he's going to be going in for the aim deals. Has retrieved the bomb actually, and now both of the CT swing at the right time. That's perfect.
That was a really nice defense from Legacy. Unfortunately, the Order Molotov does not land on Blitz's position. He's able to be safe right behind that triple, but it's not only that. The smokes come over onto stairs, over onto jungle, and you know, it might not have been caught on camera, but they actually do a head stack to sort of spot the gap in the smoke for people crossing over that jungle smoke between the stairs smoke as well. And it doesn't net them anything, but it just shows they're so on the same page. They've got a couple gimmicks that they can throw in against this, you know, A executes and stuff like that. And when you're, you know, in a lot of pressure, you potentially make one mistake and you're going to be out of this game. It's good to see the small adjustments coming out of Legacy to try and give themselves a chance to close this one out and move into the next one. Definitely fighting for this one, and the scores are getting close. The pressure's on them. Are they going to crumble, or will they step up to the plate?
And this is where the tactical pause comes in handy. Both sides. I mean, Legacy, they want to just calm down the members. They know they've done the good work, and they need to continue this. But for Order, this is also a time just to be talking about what they need to be doing. If anything does need changing up, this is also their final buy as well. Their accounts have been drained out.
Flash is coming out over mid there. Molotov being exchanged by Blitz. Make sure nobody gets too much control of the boxes, and Order just fairly spread out at this point. Not doing anything too crazy in this round, but 2 players swapping over positions. Looking like Sicko wants to get his AWP on towards mid. Will be allowed to do so as Hats comes in from unders. Maybe joined by Liaz, or maybe Liaz is going to probe the B-apps a little bit longer. And they're going to set up this late mid control. Alistair being allowed to do so much damage from some of these positions. Only got a Deagle to work with, but it's Potentially going to be danger territory for Legacy if they do allow people to slip up this connector once again. They're playing so passively. Molotov on towards window. And just a little triangle setup. One towards jungle, just playing very passively at this point. And aggressive over towards A-round. Out comes the flash from Blitz. Not quite, you know, as beautiful as that fallen one we saw earlier, but close enough. Information gathered.
Barely any information. Lacour was flashed off. The only account was that it wasn't shot. Soju trying to transfer the spray. It's going to be two. Alistair was the bait in this scenario. Lacour still playing close. Can hear all of these members, but Hans is going to make... is just going to pop his head up and just go, hey man, how you going? Blitz, now so much work he needs to do with the AWP. He's just lurking at the edge of the smoke. He's going to drop off. He's going to allow the bomb plant to be carted forward, but Lons has made a lot of noise and has been spotted out by Imagine. So both sides, both captains, both IGLs just giving each other a lot of respect. Still a 4 and 3 though, and as time is dwindling away, Legacy needs to make the call. It looks like they are backing off the save. Blitz is already too low. And the question is Order going to be hunting for these kills? And the answer seems to be yes for Hats. Probably no for the rest of the members now after they lose Hats. They're just going to allow the CTs to flee the ship like a sinking ship, I guess.
Yep.
Rats fleeing a sinking ship is the saying I'm going for.
Fleeing
and
the
for
ship.
Order, they finally managed to pick up another round.
Absolutely. And look, 12-11 for Order, but it's not only that, you know, the economy starts to get strained here for Legacy. Was quite a clean one in there. Hats makes all the difference because, you know, if those players from ABAMP are running out that smoke at Lacour, I mean, it's like one of those highlights that we've seen from like Rain on FaZe Clan or something like that. Whenever you're playing close to that smoke, it's just easy pickings for the T's running out backwards, trying not to get flashed, and doesn't quite work out that way. And Order with another one on the board. Legacy, number one. They have quite a weak buy moving into this one. They've got no money left, and they're really running out of pauses at this point, Kev.
Yep.
So moving forward in this game, it's getting dangerous.
And they're going for some underpass aggression. And Liaz might walk straight into this. There's a lot of members here, and Liaz, he's going to spot two of them, still holding the angle, spraying, trying to deter them from pushing forward, but he's going to be overwhelmed by the two SMGs. This should be the go signal for Order to actually come back into the A-bomb site instead. 2 and unders, you're mostly going to be suspecting that the A site hold is going to be susceptible.
Look at Lacour on top of the balcony, though, or is he under it with the CZ? Oh my god, he could do so much damage if Imagine's not careful. Blitz got the AWP trained on A-ramp, and if they don't use enough utility coming out here, they could be free pickings for him.
And it might just be free pickings right now. Blitz is watching the correct angle. Flashbang is going to pop. Oh, but he can't get the flick. Alistair will be able to do the damage now. Lacour dancing around, being a nuisance around the ladder. Alistair is just going to jump into sandwich. It's going to make Lacour's job a little bit more difficult. Eventually, he's going to have to reload. That's a good CT flashbang, but it just means that Hans comes forward, knows that there's one more target in jungle, and eventually too many AK-47s for Legacy to nullify. Now Hans is coming alive. Soju, the last man left standing. I think they've spotted out his shadow. He's not standing anymore. He's slumped in connector. And Legacy, I think this may be it. That was the killing blow, I think, for Order.
Hats has been so good coming up the connector. He does so much work for his team. Not only does he really sort of cut off one of the arms of Legacy, you know, when they're coming out that A-bomb side on that jungle side and on the connector side, he's not allowing the rotators to really support whether it's utility or whether it's, you know, an extra angle to cover off that A-push. But secondarily, I mean, we saw him come up on stairs and actually take out the A-anchor previously, so he's doing the heavy lifting for at least 2 or 3 of the players in Order, and it's really making all the difference at this point.
It's going to say as well, those are in 2 of the most critical rounds as well. Those are the rounds that could have broken your economy, and for Legacy actually to come ahead, it could have been 13-11. It wasn't for those picks. Lacour could have gone huge. He's had a good game so far. But now we're back in this situation. Legacy just on the pistols. Hats once again just saving his teammate. You can see Alistair diverted away. Hats covering him off. He eventually finally goes down, but there's just too many members of Order. They're going to be overwhelming the B-bomb site. And Legacy, they're just trying to do as much damage as possible. But this, I think, is just staving off the inevitable.
Well, yeah, it's pretty much clothesline Soju at that point, and it's making a little bit of extra money to move forward into this game and close it out. Order once again 4 alive, not losing anything to the pistols like they did on train, and looking pretty convincing from them. Looking like they got this one in the bag, but Legacy, one more shot. They do have one more pause, I believe, and not only that, they've got one more shot at preventing match point here for Order.
Absolutely.
One more buy in them. One more, lots of things.
One more roll at the dice, as we'd say.
Another elfish guyism. Jordanism, and bomb's going to explode, moving us into the next round. And will Legacy take all of this freeze time and throw a pause in, or are they going to wait till the very last hurdle? I'd imagine it's going to be now.
And Legacy are going to say, that's where you're wrong, kiddo. We're not taking a tactical pause. I mean, the buy, yes, we were expecting it, but not taking a tactical pause in probably one of the most important rounds for Legacy, obviously.
Why not have it? Wasn't keeping track too closely, but I'm pretty sure they were either out or they had one left.
I'm fairly certain they had one left.
Yeah.
As Order now 2 rounds away from eliminating Legacy. In the prime position to do so. They do have enough money in the bank accounts to get some further damage down.
Look how passive Order's playing at the moment, just expecting all the aggression to be coming out of Legacy, all the gimmicks, and they're not falling for any of it. Alistair making all the difference here coming out of underpass. It's going to be up to Blitz to punish him if he jumps up on the wrong angle, but Blitz jumping down. Oh, which one of these is going to get the better of the other? Neither will make any impact. 2 smokes actually coming out to the bottom of the connector, so that's definitely going to put a timer on this mid-hold from the CTs.
Yeah, still Stat is looking to fight it. It is a gamble coming out from Legacy. They've actually stacked 2 into short instead. And now Stat looking to duel it out mid. Sicko and Hats. It's going to be the 2 firepowers there. They're going to come out on top with the AK and the Yorp. Soju at the very least does manage to trade out Alistair, but now a massive hole of defense being left in the B bomb site, as well as the A bomb site. They have to play so passively with the numbers deficit.
And once again, Hats is the one moving up short, playing the second arm of this push. Rest of them moving towards B apartments and taking their time. Imagine as well going to help him, moving up towards short as well. When difference maker once again coming from the catwalk. Stat going to be able to go for the late flank through ladder, but how much is Lon's going to get done?
He's got to hold on for a very long time, but Stat's going to eventually finally find the timing, and he's going to pick off 2, so it resets it to a 2-on-2 situation. Liaz will be able to get the bomb plant down, so everything will slow for a bit before the CTs decide to re-engage. Lacour should be calling that he's pushing around the edge of the smoke grenade. Liaz is not watching this, though, and Stat just holding on for now. Both sides playing around the edge of the smoke grenade. Sicko might be found out by Lacour if he jumps up, because really the T's and the CTs are changing positions. Lacour will be able to spray down Liaz, and Sicko decides to draw out the pistol, cleans up the low HP Lacour. Now it's down to a 1-on-1. Stat trying to find the shot onto Sicko. Doesn't have the kit, has to go for the kill. Time is ticking away. Sicko misses the AWP shot. Is there enough time for Stat? I don't think there is. He's got enough of it, and I don't even think he'll live from the bomb explosion if he doesn't get out of there in time. He can't even save the AWP. He will live, but no AWP saved over. Order now on series point as well on Legacy. Not much to work in the bank accounts as well.
There it is, match point for Order, and great read from them all across the board. Passive in the first parts of the round. As they went towards the mid-round, they didn't take it too quickly up connector or up catwalk there, just holding the line. Sicko posted up on an angle, and when Legacy do go for the play, they pull the trigger, and unfortunately they're running into a bunch of angles that Order has locked down. Now, Lacour, he's only got an MP9 on this A bomb side, and he's going to deny Sicko any entry into this round. Trade's going back and forth in mid.
Oh, what is that coming out from Imagine? Just hopping up, spots Blitz, head, turns on him. And Lacour holding close to the MP9. We were talking about he didn't have much to work with, but he has to make do with this right now. This Order looking to apply this pressure on the A-bomb site. Imagine has been pristine with his timing so far in this round. He's been all the difference so far. Legacy walking into their defeat right now. It's all down to Soju. They know where he is. They're going to be surrounding him right now. And Legacy are going to be the first team to be knocked out of IEM Sydney 2018 as Order. They live to fight another day.
Unfortunate for Legacy. Congratulations to Order. They will be moving over through the lower bracket. See how much more work they could do, as the next game will undoubtedly be a much bigger task than this. Definitely have taken Legacy out plenty of times in the past, and this will be no difference, but have to give it to Legacy. At least they showed us some good stuff. Some of their individuals definitely showing us some good plays. The coordination on the T side when they decided to take control of the game was great to see, and just not enough in the tank. Coming in here, playing with a stand-in, didn't even expect to be at this tournament. Did get double digits on their map pick and made it quite interesting on trains. So.
I mean, I was about to say, in terms of for a team that came in as a replacement at the last moment, a team that a lot of us wouldn't have given any opportunities to not only push Renegades to 16-9, but to also contest against Order in these maps and make it decently close. It is not to be embarrassed about at all. So well done, Legacy. Unfortunately, they do bow out of IEM Sydney 2018, but at the very least, they go out with their heads held high.
Absolutely, and we'll be seeing Order moving forward to possibly play whoever the loser of, I believe it's SK and
Greyhound?
Greyhound. Yeah, so no matter who they play in that next game, that's definitely going to be difficult. I mean, SK, one of the best in the world, undoubtedly, and Greyhound, a domestic rival who's gotten it over them time and time again.
All right, so we'll bring it back a little bit because obviously that is our next series, but let's focus a little bit on the series that was just completed there. So Train and Mirage, it was a 16-9, 16-11 victory for Order at the end of the day. Once again, it was that capitulation on that second half for Legacy where they were unable to get things done. It was so close at the first half, and the second half, they disappeared.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just a strong start that you expected from them. They always made that first half interesting, but I feel like we always watch that in Order games. Whenever they, have a decent half and they're feeling pretty pressure-free moving into the next half, they tend to get the ball rolling. They make all the right decisions. They don't lose too many guns to pistols, and it's just so hard against a team of Order's caliber to just close out consecutive gun rounds. You might be able to win one round or here with a good T call. Lonsdale likes to throw in those aggressive ones and to really take control of the game, but once Order has your number or maybe one or two things don't go right, you have to end up winning multiple consecutive gun rounds in a row, and that's really the problem.
Yeah, and we saw that coming into their own CT side as well, is that they were just unable to chain those consecutive rounds. They might have got one on the back of some good play, especially on the A-bomb site hold against the execute, but they couldn't do enough at mid, and at the end of the day, I think that was where the difference that the experience was showing through, where Soju and Stat were being bullied out of mid by much more experienced players like Imagine, like Hats, like your Sicko, like your Liaz, and there's not much that you can do from there.
Oh, it was so much down to the mid-round, though. Like Soju and Stat, they weren't doing too badly in some scenarios. They're even getting picks on people in mid, but some of the mid-round there, when you saw Alistair coming up in window, when you saw Hats coming up connector and just locking down jungle or picking people on A, that mid-round from Order, was pretty much the star of the show when the rest of them were coming out the bomb site. Makes it things 10 times easier, and Legacy has to worry about too many things at once.
Yeah, and that is sometimes the lack of experience as well as a stand-in as well. You don't have that full synergy. I mean, Liqueur definitely had a great performance on Mirage, don't get me wrong, but sometimes you definitely want your core player back in because they know what they're doing in terms of the overall team structure, the team strategy, and maybe that was just the missing part. I don't know if it would have been a different story with Yellow or without, whether it be closer, maybe if Legacy would have been able to pull off an upset, but at the end of the day, I guess it is what it is, and they will be knocked out of IEM Sydney 2018.
Yeah, definitely. So, good job by them to make things interesting on some of the rounds, and definitely a learning experience for them. Didn't expect to be here, so, I mean, these kind of opportunities, high-pressure tournament, LAN environment is always better than even just the qualifier for the tournament, even if you had beaten Tainted Minds in the online phase.
I was about to say as well, I mean, they're only going to grow from here, and they still got the rest of the week to boot camp it out. I mean, a ton of these other teams most likely will be looking for scrims, and Legacy, this is their prime opportunity to grow even further from here. So their journey really hasn't even, it's barely begun, and it's already looking so promising.
Yeah, plenty of lessons learned to make them a stronger team, and I'm sure there's plenty more down the pipeline if they're able to get some more practice in and get the team cohesion going.
Yeah. Okay, so that is our first team eliminated. Legacy, unfortunately, will be bowing out